What's up, YouTube? Team Movies here with Todd Phillips' new film, The Joker, hitting theaters pretty soon. Since it is directed by Todd Phillips, I decided to go ahead and do my top 5 favorite Todd Phillips movies. I mean, he's done a few other films, but he hasn't really done directed 10 major films. So I'm just cutting his he actually has like 8 films I really enjoy, but I'm really cutting his this list down to 5. And also, with that being said, here's my top 5 favorite Todd Phillips movies. All right, coming in at number 5 is a very underrated gem, and that is War Dogs. Now, War Dogs stars Jonah Hill as this young man who offers like his best friend, played by Miles Teller, a chance to make a big bust by becoming a international arms dealer. And so, like together, they end up exploring a government initiative that like allows businesses to like bid on a U.S. military contracts and all. And I gotta say, War Dogs is a real underrated gem. You got Miles Teller and Jonah Hill, who I thought worked together perfectly. And this movie it was a comedy, but it was more darker than you expect. And crazy that this movie is based on a true story, too. I mean, that was still insane. But yeah, War Dogs, such a really great one. If you guys never seen War Dogs by now with Jonah Hill and Miles Teller, give it a go. And I mean, you also got Ana de Armas is also in this. Really, really insane film. Definitely give it a shot. Anyway, alright, coming in at number 4, we got Road Trip. Now, Road Trip is downright hilarious. This was actually the film that really put Todd Phillips on the map. I believe it was his first feature, if I'm not mistaken. But in it, it's where this couple named Josh and Tiffany, who has been like together since they were kids, and so like you got you also got this blonde named Beth, who ends up going to college with Josh, and one night Josh and Beth end up hooking up and making a videotape that same day that Josh ends up playing Jamil to Tiffany to talk about college life. And so, the wrong tape, of course, ends up going to his girl. And so they got pretty much. So him and a few of his other pals had to got to go to the college, like a road trip to the college place, to really retrieve the tape. It is hilarious. You've got Breckin Myers, who plays the lead role in this. You also got DJ Qualls, Horatio Sands, Andy Dick. You got Tom Green. Sean William Scott is in this. It is such a great road trip film, and it's very hilarious. It's a great. It's part coming of age, if you want to look at it that way too. It is a sex comedy. There is sexual talks in this. Such a really funny film, and not to mention Amy Smart is in this too, and who doesn't adore Amy Smart? I mean, come on. Yeah, Road Trip is such a funny film. I mean, they go to crazy lengths to retrieve the tape. I mean, they even end up going to this diner where DJ Qualls' character has this guy played by Horatio, has the waiter played by Horatio Sands take back his like French toast because he didn't want like sugar on it. And so Horatio Sands' character, of course, takes the French toast, but does a little put some ingredients in it. So yeah, that's kind of sickening there. But yeah, it's a really funny one. If you guys never seen Road Trip by now, check the first Road Trip out. You don't have to bother with the sequel, which was I think Beer or something. I can't remember the name of the sequel, but the first Road Trip with Breckin Meyer, Sean William Scott. You got Fred Ward was in this. Great filming. Definitely go check out Road Trip. All right. Coming in at number 3 is going to Starsky and Hutch, which is based on the classic TV show and stars the likes of Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson. You got Snoop Dogg as the role of Huggy Bear. You've got Vince Vaughn, who plays the bad guy here. Juliette Lewis is in this. You also got Fred Williamson, the aforementioned Amy Smart, Sean Penn's late brother Chris Penn, really awesome film. It is really funny. Ben Still and Owen Wilson, those two work perfectly as a Starsky and Hutch. And the movie was PG-13, but it had some risque stuff in it. And oh, not to mention Carmel Lecture's in this too, man. Carmel Lecture is just a dog. And yes, Starsky and Hutch. I mean, you got not to mention Will Ferrell also had a really funny role in this, and not to mention Jason Bateman. I mean, it has a pretty good supporting cast surrounding Stiller and Wilson. It's such a hilarious one. There's some really funny moments in this movie, like the prison scene with Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson. Me, Will Ferrell in prison. That is really hilarious. There's not to mention Snoop Dogg as Huggy Bear is just hilarious. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I would have literally seen a spin-off featuring Huggy Bear. Huggy Bear really stole most of the stage. And yeah, Starsky and Hutch, such an awesome one. I mean, it's kind of shame they never really went ahead and did this, like a follow-up to Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson Starsky and Hutch movie. But I still got kicked out of it. And not to mention the original Starsky and Hutch TV actors were in this too, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, alright, coming in at number 2, I'm going with Old School. Another strip comedy with Will Ferrell, Luke Wilson. You got Vince Vaughn is in this. You also got the aforementioned Sean William Scott, Jeremy Piven, the aforementioned Snoop Dogg, Alicia Cuthbert, Artie Lang, Rob Corddry, Jeremy Piven. I mean, it's pretty much where these old school guys, played by Farrell, Wilson, and Vaughn, decides to pretty much go back to pretty much they kind of missed the college lifestyle, and Luke Wilson's character, his girlfriend ended up, played by Juliette Lewis, ended up breaking up with him. So the three guys decided to pretty much become old school at this college frat party, and you got Jeremy Piven, who played like the college dean in this. I mean, Old School is hilarious. I mean, you've got Will Ferrell as Frank the Tank. How cool is that? I mean, Frank the Tank is a hilarious character. Luke Wilson is great. Sean William Scott has some pretty funny moments in this. I mean, my favorite scene is probably when Will Ferrell is running down the street and all. That is a really hilarious scene. Old School is such a great, awesome film. If you guys never seen Old School by now, give it a go. And I still wish they went ahead and did a sequel to this. I mean, they talked about doing a sequel to Old School years ago, but it never really happened. But Old School is, sequel or not, it's still a hilarious film. Alright, my number one favorite Todd Phillips movie is going to the Hangover films. Now, of course, the Hangover 1 is great. And unpopular to say, but I quite got kicked out of Hangover 2 and 3. But I'm actually probably just going to go with Hangover 1 instead. I mean, crazy to believe that Hangover is like 10 years old this year. Wow, I feel old right there. I mean, Hangover, you got Bradley Cooper, Ed Helms, Zach Galifianakis, who ends up having a wild bachelor party with their friend Doug, who's about to get married, and they end up missing Doug in Las Vegas. And so they end up waking up the next morning and they cannot remember a thing, so they gotta pretty much retrace their steps and find out what happened that night. And obviously they end up having some sort of a big hangover. And you've got not to mention you got Ken Jeong is in this. I adore Ken Jeong in these movies. I mean, they need to do a spin-off with just him. Anyway, not to mention you even had Mike Tyson, who of course portrayed himself. I mean, I quite like Mike Tyson in this. You also had Jeffrey Tambor, Mike Epps. I mean, Todd Phillips also had a part in this. I really got kicked out of the first Hangover, and the sequels. I mean, you even had, in the sequels you had John Goodman, Paul Giamatti popped up in the sequels. I quite got kicked out of the sequels, but the first film is still awesome. It's really hilarious, very raunchy. Some really funny stuff in this. And if you guys never seen the Hangover films, give them a go. And I'm not gonna lie, I still would be down for part 4. But the Hangover films ended pretty perfectly, so there's that. And crazy to think that Todd Phillips is going from the Hangover, Starsky and Hutch, old school road trip to making the Joker. I mean, interesting turnaround right there. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Uh, 10 War Dogs, 4 Road Trip, 3 Starsky and Hutch, 2 Old School, 1 The Hangover. And now there's been loads of other movies that he had directed. Let's see, Due Date, the film with Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis. That is a great one. There's also not directing, but he actually produced Project X, which I love. Project X, such an awesome film. He was also a producer on Stars Born. I forgot about that. He also directed that Billy Bob Thornton and a John Heder film, School for Scoundrels, which is kind of a funny film. I kind of got a kick out of that. He's supposed to direct that upcoming Hulk Hogan movie with Chris Hemsworth for Netflix, so he has that coming out. I mean, he's done some pretty interesting stuff. Not like top 10 materialist, but the pretty cool stuff I liked. And he also was a producer on Borat. Wow, nice. But anyway, let me leave you guys. What are some of your favorite Todd Phillips movies? Drop a comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This is C Movie signing off.